welcome to the Coimbatore Cluster Final of Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. The cycle brand takes great pride in India's heritage and culture and has centered the company's mission and vision around the same. Hence, the cycle brand has conceptualized the Cycle Heritage Quiz with a view to enlighten young minds on the 5,000-year-old heritage of our nation. The Cycle Heritage Quiz is an all-India level quiz competition that celebrates India's rich culture and heritage, with participants spanning the length and breadth of the nation. Through this quiz, participants get a chance to showcase their knowledge and passion for India's heritage. As we know, we are still dealing with effects of the global pandemic. Hence, the Cycle Heritage Quiz is being held in a special online format. And this year, we have had more than 30,000 participants register for this quiz. So you're already winners because you have qualified among so many. In this quiz, we have divided India into 18 different clusters. After a grueling preliminary stage, where participants took part in 4 rounds with questions on the heritage of our nation and the heritage of our region, of their region rather, we have our 6 finalists from each cluster. Now, we have the finals for the Coimbatore cluster, where we have students from various parts of the state of Tamil Nadu. Let's meet our 6 participants, starting with Titash Banerjea from Srivatsa Vishwanathan Vivekananda Vidyalaya. Hi, Pratishtha.
Hi, sir.
So, Pratishtha, how did you like the preliminary rounds of the Cycle Heritage?
Very good, sir. I can learn something in that.
Okay, great. And feeling confident of your chances here?
Yes, sir.
Great. Our next participant is Shriya Barunavi from Srivatsa Vishwanathan Vivekananda Vidyalaya.
Yes,
Hi,
sir.
Shriya.
Hi, sir.
Shriya, tell me something. Have you taken part in quizzes on Indian heritage before?
No, sir. I have participated in different types of quizzes, but this is the first time in which I participate with India Heritage.
Okay, and enjoyed the experience so far?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. All the best.
Thank you,
Next,
sir.
we have Nivedini Balamurali from Srivatsa Vishwanathan Vivekananda Vidyalaya. Hi, Nivedini.
Yes, sir.
So, Nivedini, feeling confident of your chances here?
Yes, sir.
Great. And all the very best for this quiz.
Okay, sir.
Next, we have Harshi Vivek from Army Public School. So, Harshi,
Yes,
how was your experience of the preliminaries of the Cycle Heritage Quiz?
This is my first time attempting a quiz, sir. So it was really good, sir. My experience was really good.
Okay, fantastic. It's your first quiz. And
Yes.
so
Yes,
you'll be
sir.
up against some very experienced quizzes.
Yes.
Confident of doing well?
Yes, sir.
Great. Next, we have Shiravan Pradeep from Lishu Matriculation Higher Secondary School. Hi, Shiravan.
Hi, sir.
So, Shiravan, what is your favorite thing about India's heritage? Anything that you like in particular?
Yeah, I like the monuments that are very good, like Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar, and Tamil Nadu's Brihadishwara temple. Like that, I like many things about our culture, heritage.
Great. And have you visited a few of those monuments?
Not yet.
Okay, I hope you get to visit them very soon. And last but not the least, we have Jocelyn Andrea from Dalmia Vidya Mandir. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, sir.
So, Jocelyn, confident of doing well in the cluster final today?
Yeah, sir. Definitely.
Great, Jocelyn. All the very best and all the best to all the contestants today at the Coimbatore Cluster Final of the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. We'll begin with our first round, Lakshya Bhed. Let's take a look at the rules. So there is 1 question per participant in this round. This round does not pass. Each question has 4 options. Each participant gets 3 attempts to crack the answer. Plus 15 if you grab the answer in the very first attempt. Plus 10 if you grab the answer in the second attempt. plus 5 if you grab the answer in the third attempt. So we are ready to start with the first round, Lakshya Veda. Here comes the first question for Pratishtha. So Pratishtha, your question. Among his many achievements are the creation on earth of the river Kaveri, drinking the entire ocean dry to expose the asuras, and commanding the Vindhyas to stop growing till he returned from the south. What is the name of this sage? Is it A, Agastya? Is it B, Kashyap? Is it C, Vishwamitra? Or is it D, Bhrigu? Yes, Pratishtha, what's your first attempt?
Sir, I want to go with C. Vishwamitra.
Okay, let's click on C, Vishwamitra. I'm sorry, that's the wrong answer. What's your next attempt?
Option A.
Okay, let's click on option A, Agastya. Absolutely correct. Well done, Pratishtha. 10 points for you. It is indeed Agastya, and that gives you 10 points. So well done. And we'll move on to the next question for Shreya. Shreya, your question. The name of this occasion is derived from two words, meaning Capricorn and transition. It is said that on this day, the sun visits the house of his son, Shani. Which occasion is this? Is it Bhogi Pongal? Is it Mattu Pongal? Is it Makar Shankranti? Or is it Paush Shankranti? Yes, Shreya.
Option D, Paush Shankranti.
Okay, let's click on option D, Paush Shankranti. Sorry, that's the wrong answer. Next one, next attempt for you, Shreya.
Option C, Makar Shankranti.
Okay, let's click on Makar Shankranti, which is option C. 10 points. Well done, Shreya. Capricorn stands for Makar and transition stands for Sankranti. Absolutely, Makar Sankranti is indeed the correct answer. So Shreya, you're also off to a good start. You get 10 points. And next, we'll move question number 3 for Nivedini. Nivedini, your question. Which famous sporting event was inaugurated in 1888 at Shimla on the initiative of the then Foreign Secretary of India, Sir Mortimer? Is it A, IFA Shield, B, Merdeka Cup, is it C, Baton Cup, or is it D, Durand Cup?
Option D.
Option D, Durand Cup?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's click on option D, Durand Cup. Absolutely right, 15 points. Well done, Nivedini. You knew this one or guess?
I knew this one, sir.
Okay, very good. The oldest football tournament in India. Very well done, Nivedini. 15 points for you. Next, we move on to Harshi. Harshi, your question coming up on screen now. Harshi, your question is,
Yes, sir.
according to the Markandeya Purana, the easy to digest menu for this occasion was first prescribed by Sushruta. The recommended menu consisted of milk, rice, ghee, and honey. What occasion is this? Is it marriage? Is it Ugadi? Is it Upanayana? Or is it Annaprasana? Yes, Harshi, what's your answer?
Sir, option D, Annaprasana.
Option D, Annaprasana. Let's
Yes,
click on option D. Perfect answer. Well done, Harshi. Off to a brilliant start. 15 points for you, Harshi. And now we'll move on to question number 5 for Shiravan. Shiravan, your question. This 19th century Maharaja, who died at the young age of 33, composed more than 400 songs in his very short lifetime. Some well-known compositions of his include Padmanabha Pahi, Sarasi Janabha, and Deva Deva. Who is this Maharaja? Is it Muhammad Ali Khan Walaja? Is it Swati Tirunal? Is it Krishna Raja Wadayar III? Or is it Krishna Raja Wadayar IV? Shiravan, your answer, please.
Sir, please go on with B, Swati Tirunal.
Okay, let's click on B, Swati Tirunal. Superb, Shiravan. You also score 15 points. So really high scoring at the Coimbatore Cluster Finals so far. Well done, Shiravan. And we'll move on to the last question this round for Jocelyn. A form of Fuller's Earth. Its cosmetic property comes from hydrated aluminium silicate. Fashionable as a cleanser and face mask, gets its name from a city on the banks of the river Chenab. Identify this cosmetic. Is it Trichy Tailam, Lahori Ghritam, Multani Mitti, or is it D, Oakum Butter? Yes, Jocelyn.
Sir, Trichy Tailam.
Let's click on A, Trichy Tailam. Not correct, unfortunately. Your next attempt. Yes, Jocelyn. Need an answer now. Let's click on B, Lahori Ghritam. Not Lahori Ghritam. Your last attempt.
Kokum Butter.
Let's click on
Option
D,
D.
Kokum Butter. I'm sorry, that's wrong. The answer is Multani Mitti from the city of Multan in Pakistan. It is indeed Multani Mitti, which is used very popularly as a cosmetic in India also. So no points for you, Jocelyn. With that, we come to the end of our first round, Laksha Bheda. Pretty high scoring round this. We'll now move on to round number 2, which is Jigyasa. In Jigyasa, we have text-based questions, one direct question per participant. This round passes clockwise, and you get +10 for every correct answer, whether it be a direct question or on pass. We'll once again start with our first participant, who is Pratishtha. Pratishtha, your question coming up on screen now. The name of the art form in Persian means fun or entertainment. It is generally started with a devotional song and is followed by the dramatic sequence known as Gaula. It is of two types, Dholki Bari and Sangeet Bari. Which performing art am I talking about? This is for Pratishtha.
Sir, I want to pass.
Okay, passing. No negatives though, you could have tried. But moving on to Shreya. Yes, Shreya. What's your answer?
So maybe Sangeet.
Not Sangeet. Moving on to Nivedini.
Pass.
Passing. Okay. Let's move on to Harshi.
No, sir, I'm also passing the question.
Passing. Okay. Moving on to Shiravan.
Sir, is it Dokra?
Dokra, not Dokra. Interesting try. Let's move on to Jocelyn.
Sir, Kritam.
Not correct. I'm sorry. A little tough one. So this is a word that you all also hear sometimes in Hindi. The answer is tamasha, which is the art form that we are talking about. So tough one there for Pratishtha. And we'll move on to the second question for Shreya. On your screen now. Shreya, your question is?
Yes, sir.
The one to be sacrificed must be between 24 and 100 years old. It is sprinkled with water, and the sacrificer and his daughter whisper mantras into its ear. Later, it is set loose towards the northeast to roam around wherever it chooses for the period of 1 year. The initial stages of what is being described here. Question for Shreya.
So karma.
Can you once again repeat your answer?
So karma.
Not karma. It's an interesting try. Nivedini, moving on to you.
Pass.
Nivedini also passing. We'll move on to Harshi.
Yes, sir.
Harshi. Yes, Harshi.
Sir, Kanya Puja.
Not Kanya Puja. Interesting answer once more. Shiravan.
Sir, human sacrifice?
Human sacrifice, though. It's not human sacrifice. Jocelyn, moving on to you.
Sir, Hiranyakaba.
No, that's not correct as well. Let's move on to Pratishtha.
Sir, Ganga.
No, that's wrong. So far the questions have been a bit tricky, it seems. This is the Ashwamedha Yagna, the horse sacrifice, which was done by a lot of kings, especially in mythology, where they wanted to expand their kingdom beyond a certain area. And
yes, sir. In Mahabharata, the story, this Ashtameka Yaga, they will do.
yes, in Mahabharata, there was the Ashwamedha Yagna. If no one gets points for this one, we'll move on to the next question. This is for direct, Nivedini, your question coming up on screen now. Nivedini, your question. Known as Kundalika or Jal Balika in ancient India, the main characteristic of the recipe is the use of sugar syrup known as shira or chashi. In Iran, it was traditionally prepared on the occasion of Ramadan to distribute among the poor. In Pakistan, it is used to treat headaches. In the early 1900s, it was reportedly used for holding ice creams. What am I talking about?
Some medicine.
Not medicine, can't accept medicine. Moving on to Harshi.
Jalebi. Sir, jalebi.
Jalebi, the sweet, is absolutely correct. Well done, Harshi. 10 points to you. That answer must smell sweet. Absolutely correct. Well done, Harshi. 10 points to you. And the next direct question comes to you, Harshi, on screen now. In times past, women used natural elements for makeup and cosmetics. This lady, after eating pan, found that it produces a beautiful, natural red color to the lips. The tradition of eating pan was thus popularized by her in India. Which famous woman are we talking about?
I'm passing the question, sir.
So Harshi passes this one and it goes to Shiravan. Shiravan, any answer?
I am passing, sir.
You're also passing. Okay, no negatives. Oh, but let's move on to Jocelyn.
Sir, I think the woman is Sarojini Naidu.
Not Sarojini Naidu. Moving on to Pratishtha.
Sir, I want to pass, sir.
Okay, Pratishtha also passing. Shreya?
So I think Sarla Thakral.
No, that's wrong as well. Nivedini, over to you.
No, sir.
Okay, everyone passing. This is the famous Mughal queen, Noor Jahan, the empress during Jahangir's time. This is Noor Jahan, who popularized the eating of pan in India. So once again, a tricky question. Let's move on to Shiravan and let's see if he can break the trend. Direct question for Shiravan on screen now. As per the legend, Anantadeva secretly came down from heaven to spy the events of this world. And seeing the human beings to suffer from diseases, he modified the ancient systems of medicine and introduced it in the world. By what name is he popular? This is a question for Shiravan.
Sir, I am passing the question.
Okay, Shiravan again passes. Let's move to Jocelyn.
Nagarjuna.
Nagarjuna, not Nagarjuna. Let's move on to Pratishtha.
Sir, Ayurveda.
Not Ayurveda, we did the name of a person here. Shreya, passing. Okay, Nivedini.
Sir, I'm also passing, sir.
Passing, okay. Harshi.
Sir, Vishnu.
Not Vishnu. We're talking about medicine, and if you think ancient Indian medicine, there's one name that comes to your mind, and that is Charaka. So Charaka is what I was looking for. I'm sure you've all heard of Charaka, so no one gets points for this one as well. Let's move on to Jocelyn for our sixth question and the last question this round. Jocelyn, your question coming up on screen now. Enma Gao, meaning a face like that of Enma, is an idiom commonly used in Japan to describe someone with a fearsome face. Enma is a character in Japanese mythology portrayed as a large man with a scowling red face, bulging eyes, and a long beard. Which character in Hindu mythology is Enma the Japanese version of? This is a question for Jocelyn.
Sir, Yama.
It is Yama. Well done, Jocelyn. Enma Gao is the Japanese version of Yama. 10 points to you, Jocelyn. Very good answer. With that, we come to the end of round number 2. And let's see what is positions on the leaderboard.
After 2 rounds of some tricky questions and some easy questions, we have the scores of the Coimbatore Cluster Finale of Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. As of now, Harshi is currently leading this quiz with 25 points. Then we have Nivedini and Shiravan both on 15 points. We have Shreya and Jocelyn both on 10 points. Pratishtha also on 10 points.
All right, so it's a very, very close leaderboard, and right now Harshi is leading. Remember, 2 participants from here will qualify for our national quarterfinals. We now begin round number 3, which is called Trishanku. Let's take a look at the rules. So 1 question per participant. This round also does not pass like the first round. Here you will get 3 clues leading to something or someone. Plus 15 if you crack the answer in the very first attempt. Plus 10 if you crack the answer in your second attempt. Plus 5 if you crack the answer in your third attempt. This time, we will start off with Jocelyn. So Jocelyn, you'll get the first question, and your first clue is coming up on screen now. Here you have to guess the name of a state. The first clue is, this state records an average annual rainfall of about 12,000 millimeters.
So Meghalaya.
Jocelyn guessing Meghalaya. That's your first guess. There are no negatives. She went for it. And she gets plus 15. Well done. It is indeed Meghalaya, which has Mawsynram, which is the rainiest place in India. And this is, of course, Meghalaya. Very, very well done, Jocelyn. You get 15 points. Very good start to this round. We'll have the next question for Shiravan. Shiravan, your first clue coming up on your screen now. Your first clue is, you have to guess the name of a sultana. The coinage during this sultana's reign carried the name Sultan Jalalat al-Dunya Waldin. That's your first needed answer.
Sir, is it Alauddin Khalji?
Not Alauddin Khilji. Moving on to the next clue. This was the 5th ruler of the Mamluk dynasty.
Sir, is it Razia al-Din?
You want, your answer is Razia?
Yes, Razia.
Razia, Sultana. Okay, I said you have to name the Sultana. I did not specify whether first name or second name. You said Razia. I'll accept that answer. So plus 10. Well done. Razia Sultana is indeed the correct answer. Shiravan gets plus 10. Well done, Shiravan. Very, very well done. You get plus 10. And now we move on to our next participant, who is our leader right now, Harshi. Harshi, your first clue coming up on screen now. You have to guess the name of a sport. It was first demonstrated to the international audience at the 1936 Berlin Olympics.
I'd like to ask my first clue, sir.
You want a new clue? Okay. Let's move on to the second clue. The first women's competition in this sport at the Asian Games happened in 2010, where gold was won by India. Yes, Harshi, need an answer? Or shall we move to the next clue?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You don't want to take a guess? Moving on to the last clue, okay, for 5 points. It is the national sport of Bangladesh and has 7 active players, which means 7 active players on a team at a point of time.
Boxing?
Not boxing. Boxing is generally 1 versus 1. So it's generally not, the team sport. This is Kabaddi. Kabaddi is, of course, which was demonstrated in the 1936 Olympics by an Indian organization known as Hanuman Vyayam Prasarat Mandal. In fact, they demonstrated the ancient Indian sport of Mallakham as well. And of course, now we have the Pro Kabaddi League, which a lot of you might be watching. So this is Kabaddi, which is indeed the national sport of Bangladesh. So no points for you, Harshi. We'll move on to the next question. And this is for Nivedini. Nivedini, your first clue coming up on screen now. This is the smallest among the 3 living Chola temples.
So next clue, sir.
Next clue, okay. Let's move on to the next clue. A mythological creature restored its white skin after taking a dip in the temple's water tank.
So next clue.
Next clue, okay. Let's move on to the last clue for Nivedini. It makes up a UNESCO World Heritage Site along with the Brihadishwara Temple at Tanjavur and the Gangaikonda Cholapuram Temple. So 3 temples make up the UNESCO World Heritage Site. One is the Brihadishwara Temple, and there is the Gangaikonda Cholapuram Temple, which is the third.
Gangaikonda Cholapuram Temple.
What temple? Once again, please, can you repeat?
Gangaikonda Cholapuram Temple.
No, Gangaikonda Cholapuram Temple is, of course, already mentioned. This is the Airavateshwar Temple. The mythological creature was the elephant Airavat, who restored its white skin by taking a dip in the temple.
Sir, it is located at Dharasuram.
Yes, of course, absolutely correct. This is the three temples together, the Brihadishwara Temple at Tanjavur, the Gangaikonda Cholapuram Temple, which is also called the Brihadishwara Temple, in fact, but at a different location, and the Airavateshwar Temple together make up the UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is called the Great Living Chola Temple. So no points for you, Nivedini, unfortunately. And we'll move to Shreya. Shreya, your first clue coming up on screen now. After previously being demonetized twice, this denomination was reintroduced in November 2000 due to inflation.
So can I get my first clue?
Okay, your next clue. Okay, this was your first clue. Let's move on to the next clue. The reverse side of this banknote featured the motif of an oil rig, a satellite, and a steel foundry, all together featuring the economy of India. Yes, Shreya, need your hands visible and need an answer.
No, so my next clue, sir.
Next clue, the last clue coming up. This denomination was demonetized again on 8th November 2016. Any answers?
No, sir.
All right. Anybody else wants to guess?
Sir, I want to.
Yes.
Sir, the answer is 2,000 rupees note.
Not 2,000 rupees. 2,000 was introduced after demonetization happened. This is the 1,000 rupees note, which featured the economy of India. So we feature financial heritage also. So yes, this has become part of our heritage, the 1,000 rupee note, because it's not there anymore. In fact, and we don't know whether it will come back or not, but the 1,000 rupee note is what I was looking for. And so no points there for Shreya. We move on to the last question of this round for Pratishtha. Pratishtha, your first clue coming up on screen now. In 1903, he secured a scholarship with the University of Madras, but lost it the following year. He later obtained a clerical post with the Madras Port Trust. Any guesses?
Sir, next clue, sir.
Okay, let's move on to next clue. In 1913, he began a correspondence with Godfrey H. Hardy that led to a grant from the Trinity College, Cambridge.
Sir, next, sir.
Last clue coming up on screen. This should be easy. Let's look at your last clue. National Mathematics Day in India is observed on his birthday.
Shakuntala Devi.
On his birthday, not Shakuntala Devi.
Sir,
This
I
has
have
to
a
be
guess.
Srinivas Ramanujan. National Mathematics Day is observed on the birthday of Srinivas Ramanujan. On his birthday, I mentioned. Sorry, Pratishtha, no points. This also turned out to be a tricky round. And moving into the last round, I'll go to Kunal for the scores.
After 3 rounds, some interesting misses and some interesting correct answers as well. Here we are in the Coimbatore finale with the score after the 3 rounds. Right now, on an interesting turn of answers, Harshi, Shiravan, and Jocelyn all are leading this quiz in a tied position, all on 25 points. Then we have Nivedini on 15 and Pratishtha and Shreya both on 10 points. 1 round to go. A lot can happen over the last 6 questions. Let's find out who goes into the national quarterfinals of the Cycle Heritage Quiz Coimbatore round.
So it's a very, very close battle. 2 spots are for grabs for the national quarterfinals. 3 people tied at the top, and the others not too far behind. Let's see what happens in our last round, which is called Divya Drishti. Let's take a look at the rules. As the name suggests, this is a visual round. So 1 direct question per participant, all based on visuals. This passes anti-clockwise. plus 10 for every correct answer, direct or on pass. So our first question for this round is for Jocelyn. Jocelyn, your visual coming up on screen now. Jocelyn, your question is, this cave temple located in Mamallapuram is dedicated to which avatar of Lord Vishnu? Question for Jocelyn. To whom is this cave temple?
Can you tell the monument name?
Yes, Jocelyn, can you please repeat?
Can I want to tell the monument's name? This
Not
one?
the monument's name. You have to tell me to which avatar of Lord Vishnu is this temple dedicated to?
Lord Krishna.
Not Lord Krishna. Moving to Shravan.
Sir, is it Parashurama?
Not Parashurama. Harshi.
The Varaha avatar.
Yes, absolutely correct. This is the Varaha temple in Mamallapuram. Harshi gets 10 points. A very crucial 10 points considering she was jointly in the lead before this question. So well done, Harshi. 10 points to you. Next question for Shravan. Shravan, your visual coming up on screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, your question, Shravan. This fort was witness to a famous mutiny. Where is this fort located?
Sir, Vellore.
Vellore is your answer, Shravan. Witness to the famous mutiny in the early part of the 19th century, much before the First War of Independence, which happened in 1857. Absolutely correct, Shravan. Well done. You also claim a crucial 10 points. Very well done. And now we have the question for Harshi. Harshi, your question. From the world of sports, he was the coach of India in which sport at the 1956 Melbourne Olympics, where India claimed 4th place. Very, very famous coach. He was the coach of India in which sport at the 1956 Melbourne Olympics?
The hockey.
Not hockey. Moving on to Nivedini.
Pass.
Nivedini passes. Shreya.
Sir, it is cricket.
Not cricket. Passing on to Pratishtha.
Kabaddi, sir.
Not kabaddi. Moving on to Jocelyn.
Sir, shall I want to tell the coach's name?
Not the coach's name. You have to tell the name of the sport in which he coached India.
Okay, sir. He was a coach of football.
He was the coach of football. This is Syed Abdul Rahim, who coached India to a historic 4th place, which was our best ever finish in football at the Olympics. Absolutely correct, Jocelyn. 10 points to you, and you are back in the race. Very, very well done. And now we have the 4th question of this round for Nivedini. Nivedini, your question. This famous political reformer is also known for his extensive work in another field apart from politics. Hence, he is known as the father of what? I don't want his name. I want you to tell me that this political reformer is also known as the father of what?
Passing.
Passing. Okay. Shreya, any answers?
Passing.
Passing. Okay. Let's move to Pratishtha.
Sir, pass.
Passing once more. Moving to Jocelyn. Can't give you more time, Jocelyn, on the pass. I'm sorry.
The pass. Pass.
Okay. Moving on to Shravan.
Sir, we have to guess who is he the father of?
Yes. What is he the father of?
Sir, is it father of Indian National? Sir, is it Indian National Congress?
No, can't give it to you because I said apart from politics. So not the father of the Indian National Congress. Moving to Harshi.
Sir, father of reform.
Not the father of reform. This was a question for Nivedini. I think the One of you definitely knew who the person was.
Sir, is it ornithology?
Yes, ornithology is what I was looking for. As I said, apart from Indian politics, it is father of Indian ornithology. This is Alan Octavian Hume. A few birds are also named after him. A bird is also named after his wife. So there's one bird called Mrs. Hume's pheasant. So yes, this is Alan Octavian Hume, and he is the father of Indian ornithology. No one gets points for this one. This quiz is getting very interesting. Only 2 more questions to go. Next question is for Shreya. Shreya, your question is, this is a famous lake located in which union territory? This is a famous lake located in which union territory? The landscape should definitely give you a hint.
Daman and Diu.
Not Daman and Diu. Pratishtha?
Sir, Ladakh.
It is Ladakh. Well done, Pratishtha. Good answer there. This is the Pangong Lake in Ladakh. So well done, Pratishtha. 10 more points to you. And the last question of this quiz goes to you, Pratishtha. Direct question. Your visual coming up on screen now. Okay. Your question is, which city or town got a GI tag for this spice? Which city or town in Tamil Nadu got a GI tag for this spice? GI tag is, of course, geographical indication. So it's something like, say, Darjeeling tea. So where a place is associated with the product. So which city or town in Tamil Nadu is associated with this product, and hence it is given a GI tag. This is for Pratishtha.
Sir, Tirunelveli.
Not Tirunelveli. Jocelyn?
Sir, I think Kanyakumari.
And the spices?
Clove.
Kanyakumari clove recently received the GI tag. Absolutely correct. Well done, Jocelyn. I think that's turned out to be a very, very crucial answer for you, Jocelyn. Very well done. Now, with all 4 rounds done, let's take a quick look at the scores with Kunal.
At the end of the Coimbatore Cluster Finale, and so many interesting answers in the last round, and also one answer made all the difference for one person. And at this point of time, Shreya ends this quiz in the 6th position with 10 points. Nivedini next in line with 15 points. Then we have Pratishtha on 20 points. Jointly on 2nd position, we have Harshi and Shiravan, both on 35 points each. Winning this quiz with that last answer at this point is Jocelyn with 45 points. Only 2% goes into the national quarterfinal from each cluster round. And since we have a tie for the 2nd position, for the first time in Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021, we would have to do a tiebreaker. So over to Titash for the tiebreaker.
All right, so it's a tiebreaker for Harshi and Shiravan. And this time you would need to use your keyboard. So congratulations, Jocelyn, for qualifying for the national quarterfinals of the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. But for the 2nd spot, we have a tie between Harshi and Shiravan. So let's take a look at the rules of the tiebreaker. So sudden death. So the question will be asked by the Quizmaster, which is me. You will not see the question on screen. You have to hear the question. You have to answer the question on private chat on Zoom to me. The first to answer correctly wins the tiebreaker. Okay? So you have to find me as one of the participants and send me a test private message first. So your tiebreaker question is, Prativindhya, the eldest of the Upapandavas, was the son of Draupadi and which Pandava?
Sir, can you repeat
Prativindhya,
the question once again?
the eldest of the Upapandavas, was the son of Draupadi and which Pandava? You have to type in the answer. You have to type in the answer. Prativindhya, the eldest of the Upapandavas, was the son of Draupadi and which Pandava? I won't repeat this again. I've received no answers. I have to close. You have to be fair in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it, closed. I'm not accepting any more answers. Okay, so we have an answer from Harshi. Unfortunately, that's wrong. We'll move on to the next question. No one gets it right. So we'll move on to the next question. As I said, in this quiz, we are very positive. We don't give any negative marking. So in this also, we have no negative marking. Your question is, which Mughal emperor's tomb is located at Sikandra, a suburb of Agra? Mughal emperor's tomb is located at Sikandra, a suburb of Agra. Need an answer, and closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, no correct answers received. I needed the name of the Mughal emperor. Your next question is, after whom is the international airport at Nagpur named? After whom is the international airport at Nagpur named? Okay, the first person to type in the answer, both. So, Shravan, unfortunately, you have made a typo, but that didn't seem to make a difference because Harshi, you have given the correct answer, which is
Baba Saheb Ambedkar.
Baba Saheb Ambedkar is indeed the correct answer. It's not Dada Saheb Ambedkar. I'm sorry, Shravan. It is Baba Saheb Ambedkar. So Harshi beats Shravan in the tiebreaker to move through to the quarterfinals. So today, from the Coimbatore cluster, we have our two qualifiers who are Jocelyn and Harshi. Jocelyn is from Dalmia Vidya Mandir and Harshi is from Army Public School. So congratulations to Jocelyn and of course, congratulations for winning the tiebreaker to Harshi. So this was indeed a riveting round at the Coimbatore cluster final. There were some very tricky questions. There was slow scoring at the start, but at the end, Jocelyn sealed the victory with a correct answer at the very end. Brilliant performance by Jocelyn in the last round. But the second spot went through to the tiebreaker. And it took 3 questions to separate Harshi and Shravan. But at the end, it was Harshi who held her nerve to emerge victorious in the tiebreaker and qualify for our national quarterfinals. So congratulations to Jocelyn and Harshi. Commiserations to Shravan, but very, very well done. And well done, Pratishtha, Nivedini, and Shreya as well for coming up with some very quality answers. This was truly a very enjoyable episode of the Coimbatore Cluster Final at the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. Till we meet next time, stay happy, stay safe, and stay curious. Thank you very much.